There are days when the silence in your home feels louder than any voice you remember. It sits beside you. It follows you. You may not always say it out loud, but you feel it in small ways. A quiet ache, a slow, heavy emptiness. Sometimes the hardest part is not being alone. It is feeling like your absence would not change much for anyone. You look around and wonder when things became this quiet. When did the phone stop ringing so often? When did your name fade? It can happen so slowly that you almost miss it at first. One canceled visit, one shorter call, one empty weekend. Then one day, you notice you have been waiting all afternoon, not for anything big, just for someone to remember you. That feeling cuts deep because you have spent a lifetime remembering others, birthdays, meals, school events, worries, needs, little details. You were there for so much. You carried days that were not easy. You helped hold a family together. Now the house is still, the clock is louder, the afternoon stretches out longer than it used to. You wake up and the first sound is not a voice. It is the heater, the refrigerator, your own steps. You make coffee for one. You sit with your cup. You look at the same chair across from you. Sometimes you glance at your phone before breakfast. No message, no missed call, no simple good morning. You tell yourself not to take it personally. You tell yourself everyone is busy, but the ache still stays. You may even feel guilty for feeling hurt, as if needing a little attention is somehow asking too much. So you say nothing. You keep your feelings folded inside. You act like the day is normal. You wash the dishes. You straighten a room that is already clean. You watch the light move across the floor. By evening, the quiet can feel even heavier. Dinner is simple. The television is on, but you are not really watching. You miss the easy sound of ordinary life. Someone coming through the door. A question from the kitchen. A laugh from another room. Even when family cares, life can still feel far away. Everyone has schedules, jobs, children, problems of their own. You may sit with loved ones and still feel separate somehow, present in the room, but not fully reached. That kind of loneliness is hard to explain. It is not always dramatic. It is quiet. It hides in normal days. Maybe you do not want to bother anyone. Maybe you think, I should be stronger than this by now. So you swallow the sadness and keep going. You smile on the phone. You say, I'm fine, sweetheart. If this feels familiar, stay here with me for a moment. You do not have to push the feeling away right now. You are not weak because this hurts. You are not overly sensitive. You are responding to something deeply human. Being remembered matters. Being noticed matters. Being part of someone's daily thought matters more than most people admit. After 70, life can change in ways no one fully prepares you for. Not all at once, but enough to shake your heart. Retirement can take away more than work. It can take away rhythm, purpose, faces you used to see without trying. A spouse may be gone, and that changes every corner of the day. Even silence sounds different after that loss. Old friends move away, slow down, get sick, or pass on. The circle gets smaller without asking your permission. Driving may feel harder now. Walking may take more effort. Weather may keep you home more often than before. You used to go out without thinking much about it. Now every outing may take planning, energy, and a little courage. Children grow into full lives, and that is natural. But natural things can still hurt when they leave you behind. Grandchildren grow up too. Their voices change. Their schedules fill. The world pulls them forward, and you stand still. No one may mean to forget you. That is part of the pain. It happens quietly, without cruelty, but it still wounds. You can feel yourself becoming less included in plans, less called, less asked, less needed in the ways you once were. And when a person feels less needed, something tender inside begins to question its place. Do I still matter here? That question can sit in your chest for hours, sometimes all day, sometimes through a whole long night. You may wait for the phone and hate that you are waiting. You may want to call, then stop yourself. You may think, I do not want to interrupt. I do not want to sound lonely. I do not want pity. So you place the phone back down. You tell yourself maybe tomorrow. Then tomorrow feels very much the same. There are moments that sting more than others. A holiday table with an empty seat in your heart. A birthday with fewer voices. A Sunday afternoon that passes without one knock at the door. A photo online from a gathering you were not part of. A family plan you heard about later. A doctor visit you go to alone. A ride home with no one asking how it went. A long evening when you speak to no one at all. Not because you chose silence, but because silence chose you. If you are listening right now, you probably know exactly which moment hurts the most. It comes to you quickly. Maybe it is morning. Maybe it is after dinner. Maybe it is that hour when daylight fades and memories grow louder. Take one quiet second and notice it, not to make yourself sadder, just to be honest with yourself. Honesty can be gentle. You can say, yes, this hurts me. Yes, I have felt forgotten. There is something important I want you to hear. Feeling forgotten is not the same as being without value. Silence around you does not measure your worth. Fewer calls do not erase the life you lived. You are not less important because others are distracted. You are not smaller because the world has become noisier and faster. The love you gave still matters. The work you did still matters. The care you offered still matters. And even now, this chapter of your life still matters. Not just the old chapters, this one too. Hope does not have to arrive like bright sunlight. Sometimes it comes like a small lamp in a dark room. It begins with the simple truth that loneliness is a feeling. It is real, but it is not your whole identity. You are not just the quiet house. You are not just the waiting. You are not just the empty calendar. There is still warmth available to you even now. There is still connection, even if it looks different than before. Sometimes the first kind thing you can do for yourself is to name what is happening clearly, not hide it. Instead of saying, I am just tired today, you might whisper, I feel lonely today. That honesty brings relief. It helps because hidden pain grows in the dark. Named pain becomes easier to carry, even if only a little. Another gentle step is to notice your hardest hours. Not every part of the day feels the same. For some people, morning is hardest. For others, it is late afternoon after the errands are done. For you, it may be evenings when the house settles and there is nothing left to distract your mind. When you know your tender hours, you can prepare for them with care. That matters more than you think. You might keep music nearby, a favorite old song, a radio voice, a prayer, a warm light. You might make tea before the ache grows heavy. You might sit by the window instead of the darker room. You might choose one small thing that gives shape to that hour. A walk to the mailbox, a short journal note. Small routines can protect the heart, not perfectly, but enough to make a hard hour softer. Another helpful step is very simple. Even if it feels hard, reach out once in a small, honest way. Not a long speech, not a dramatic message, just one real line that opens a door. You could say, I was thinking of you today, or I would enjoy hearing your voice when you have time. That kind of message carries warmth without shame. It does not beg. It simply tells the truth with dignity. And if the person responds, let yourself receive that moment fully. Do not brush it away too quickly. If the response is delayed, try not to turn that delay into a verdict about your worth. Busy is real. Still, if someone repeatedly leaves you empty, it is fair to see that clearly. Your heart deserves gentleness, not crumbs. This brings me to another truth that matters deeply. You may need new forms of connection, not only old ones. That does not mean replacing the people you love. It means allowing life to meet you in fresh ways. A neighbor's hello can matter. A church visit can matter. A regular cashier can matter. A weekly phone call can matter. A community room, a library table, a small class, a familiar bench at the park. These things count. Connection is not always loud or grand. Sometimes it begins with being known in one small place again. It helps to go where your face becomes familiar, where someone might say, good to see you today. That sentence can do more for the heart than most people understand. It reminds you that your presence registers somewhere. Another tender step is to protect the way you speak to yourself. This one is quiet but powerful. When days feel empty, the mind can become cruel. It may whisper, "You are forgotten because you are no longer needed." Please be careful with that thought. It is pain speaking, not truth speaking. You are not a burden because you need love. You are not needy because you miss being included. You are a human being with a heart that still wants warmth. There is nothing shameful in that. You have lived long enough to know that a person can look fine and still ache inside. That may be you. So treat yourself the way you once treated someone you loved who was hurting, with patience, with softness, with respect. Feed yourself something decent. Open the curtain. Calm your hair. Step outside if you can. These are not tiny things when your heart feels heavy. These are acts of care. They say, "I still matter." And you do still matter, even on the quiet days, especially on the quiet days. There may also be memories that make the loneliness sharper. Old laughter, old routines, old voices in old rooms. You do not have to run from those memories, but you also do not have to live only inside them. It is possible to carry the past with love and still make room for one good thing today. That one good thing may be very small. A bird at the feeder, clean sheets, a kind note, warm soup. Do not underestimate small comfort. At this stage of life, small comfort can feel holy. If your world has become smaller, your life is not smaller. Depth matters too, not only busyness. A quiet life can still be meaningful. A slower day can still hold beauty. A tender heart can still be strong. And if you have felt invisible lately, let me say this as plainly as I can. You are not invisible. You are not too old to be understood. You are not too far gone for closeness. You are not foolish for missing what used to be. You are not weak for grieving what has changed. You are not less worthy because fewer people check in. Your value was never meant to be counted by notifications. The truth of your life is much deeper than that. You have loved, you have endured, you have remained. There is dignity in the way you've kept going. Even when no one saw the effort, it was real. There is courage in making another quiet morning begin. There is strength in facing another evening with an open heart. If today has been one of those days, I hope this voice feels like company for a little while. I hope it reminds you that what you feel has a name and that your pain makes sense. I also hope it reminds you that the story is not over, not emotionally, not spiritually, not humanly. There is still room for warmth, still room for laughter, still room for someone to truly see you again. And until that happens more often, please do not disappear from yourself. Stay close to your own heart. Speak kindly to yourself tonight. Make one small plan for tomorrow. Keep one mic on inside. Maybe tomorrow you will send that message. Maybe tomorrow you will sit somewhere other than the lonely chair. Maybe tomorrow you will hear a voice you needed, or maybe you will simply breathe a little easier. Either way, your life is still here. Your presence is still real. Your heart is still worth caring for. Thank you for spending these quiet minutes here. If this spoke to something true in your life, you can stay connected. You can leave a simple comment like, "I understand," if that feels right to you. And if you want, you can like and subscribe. There will be more gentle conversations here, and you are always welcome back.